set up Manchester's first cancer rapid diagnostic centre, which went live in June 2020.
Evidence had shown previously that those patients got a poorer experience, a poorer outcome.
An example of a complex task is raising a child. You do have a general guideline in terms of how to do it, but there is no recipe book approach. There is a lot of local interpretation. So rightfully, I would say RDC was one of those tasks which just fit into that complex box.
I guess in kind of describing this, our sort of experiences of system convening and delivering this change management journey, I guess the irony wouldn't be lost on any of us that probably until quite recently we hadn't really heard of the concept of system convening.
I think the management or the approach of this was beyond the normal program management day-to-day stuff that we do. I think we had to do a lot of program management, but as your system convening Venn diagram represents, it's the program management on the left and it's system convening on the right. And then, and from a program management point of view, we also had that assurance, that internal assurance through the gateway reviews, which did help us. But then it wasn't just the program management side of it which helped us deliver this. I think it was also the system convening side of it, which was delivering that future perfect thinking.
It's not sort of this, top down, decisions are made. It's a very inclusive way of working. And again, I think that makes everyone from, really senior people in the team to more junior people in the team just feel really included. And that makes everyone give their absolute best.
One of the words that comes to mind for me is trust. And I think COVID has actually enabled us to do more and to stick together more, and for people to be more receptive of change.
I think everyone sort of shoulders things together. There's a lot of shared responsibility. It's not just reporting up the chain, there's this problem, I'll tell someone higher up. It's very much everyone at every level.
In this programme, I think those internal networks have been absolutely critical to mobilising a service and a pathway which crosses inputs from so many different areas. I think the connectivity between all of those networks has been really kind of important for me as well.
I think one thing that's really been useful, and I particularly have clung to in learning in this way, is that you only really need one really helpful, useful person in each area. And once you find that person, you cling on to them hard. And there normally is that person.
We've all been able to connect in different ways. So there's been networks with patients, there's been networks with other clinicians. We're able to sort of adapt and adopt some of those things without wanting to sit and congratulate ourselves. What I'd just like to say is it's been a real pleasure that wherever you go, there is enthusiasm and almost a very pleasurable envy of what you're doing.
There are different roads to reach our destination. I suppose there might not necessarily be the right or the wrong one, but as long as there is that trust, which you mentioned so earlier, as long as there is that trust that we are going to reach that destination, doesn't matter what the journey would be, I think that approach needs to be, has been applied in our leadership, to be fair.
Amongst all the ambiguity and the change and the stress and all the hurdles to overcome, the underlying feeling around this whole project is that it's exciting, and that's why people get on board. Everyone understands, there's a clear vision, and there's really clear principles that underlie what we're doing.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think there's something in what you're saying about the kind of some sort of kind of unifying vision that people bought into, which kind of which was about actually the value of the proposition, yeah, rather than the proposition itself.
It's being allowed to go the extra mile for the patients, and not being told to stick to a really prescribed way of working. It's really, really satisfying to work in a service where you all know you are doing absolutely everything you can to improve that patient's journey and life. It's not just about the cancer.